A new law goes into effect on July 1st, 2026 that could make it impossible for thousands of legal gun owners to use their firearms. 18, 19, and 20-year-olds who legally own rifles and shotguns will be prohibited from buying ammunition for guns they're legally allowed to possess. Hit that subscribe button because this law creates criminal penalties for retailers, forces store redesigns that will drive small gun shops out of business, and establishes an unconstitutional age restriction that will be challenged in federal court. Here's what happened. Colorado HB 26-1349 was signed into law on March 18, 2026, and takes effect July 1, 2026. The law raises the minimum age for purchasing ammunition from 18 to 21 and requires all retailers to store ammunition behind sales counters or in locked display cases. No more open shelving. Let me break down exactly what this law does, who it affects, what the criminal penalties are, why it's unconstitutional, how retailers are scrambling to comply, and most importantly, what you need to do in the next 60 days before this takes effect. Number one, here's what Colorado HB 26-1349 actually does and who it affects. The law has two main components that fundamentally change ammunition sales in Colorado. Component 1, age restriction to 21. Starting in July 1st, no person under 21 can purchase any ammunition, rifle, shotgun, or handgun. This includes 18, 20-year-olds who legally own long guns, who serve in the military, who work in law enforcement training programs, or who hunt. There are extremely narrow exceptions for active duty military and peace officers, but not for National Guard, reserves, or civilians. Component 2, mandatory secured storage. All ammunition must be stored behind sales counters in areas inaccessible to customers or in locked display cases that require employee assistance to open. Retailers cannot have ammunition on open shelves where customers can pick it up and bring it to checkout. Every single round, from 22 LR to 12 gauge shells, must be secured. The law applies to every retailer in Colorado that sells ammunition. Big box stores like Walmart and Cabela's, gun shops, sporting goods stores, and even online retailers shipping to Colorado addresses. There's no small business exemption. If you're finding this helpful, imagine what you'll learn in my next video where I reveal which other states are copying Colorado's ammunition restrictions and how to challenge them in court. Subscribe so you don't miss it. Number 2, here's how big the impact actually is and who loses their rights. The numbers tell you how many people this law affects. Colorado has approximately 90,000 residents age 18-20. Based on gun ownership rates, roughly 18,000 of them legally own firearms, mostly rifles and shotguns used for hunting, sport shooting, and home defense. Starting July 1st, all 18,000 of these legal gun owners cannot buy ammunition for firearms they legally possess. Think about that. An 18-year-old can serve in the Army, deploy to combat zones, and qualify expert with an M4 rifle. But when they come home to Colorado, they cannot buy a box of .223 ammunition for the AR-15 they legally own. They can own the gun, but they're prohibited from buying ammunition to make it functional. It gets worse for retailers. Colorado has over 500 federally licensed firearms dealers and sporting goods stores that sell ammunition. Every single one must redesign their sales floor by July 1st. Open ammunition aisles where customers browse? Gone. Self-service ammunition purchases? Illegal. The entire retail model must change in 60 days. Small gun shops are the most affected. A typical shop might have 200, 400 different ammunition SKUs on shelves. Moving all of that behind counters requires construction, new storage systems, additional staff to retrieve items for customers, and massive inventory reorganization. Many small shops are saying they'll stop selling ammunition entirely because compliance costs exceed profit margins. Number 3, here are the criminal penalties for violations and why they're so severe. This isn't a regulation with fines. It creates criminal liability for retailers and potential buyers. For retailers who sell to someone under 21, Class 2 misdemeanor for a first offense, punishable by up to 120 days in jail, and a $750 fine. Second offense becomes a Class 1 misdemeanor with up to 18 months in jail and $5,000 fine. Third offense triggers federal firearms license revocation proceedings. For retailers who fail to secure ammunition properly, civil penalties of $500 per violation per day. If inspectors find ammunition on open shelves, that's $500 per day until corrected. For a store with ammunition in multiple locations, violations can stack to thousands of dollars daily. For individuals who attempt to purchase while under 21, the law creates no direct criminal penalty for the buyer, but it authorizes retailers to demand ID for all ammunition purchases and refuse sales. Attempting to use a fake ID or lying about age would be separate criminal offenses. The law also creates civil liability. If a retailer sells ammunition to someone under 21 who later misuses it, the retailer can be sued civilly for negligence. This creates massive liability exposure that insurance companies are already pricing into premiums. Quick legal note, this is educational information about Colorado ammunition law. This is not legal advice. If you're facing charges related to ammunition sales or purchases, immediately consult with an attorney who specializes in firearms law in Colorado. Hey, 73% of people watching right now aren't subscribed. Don't be part of that group. Join the 50,000 gun owners who get these legislative threat updates first. Click that subscribe button because next week I'm revealing the constitutional lawsuit strategy that will strike down this age restriction. Number 4, why this law is unconstitutional under Bruin. Multiple constitutional problems make this vulnerable to legal challenge. First, age discrimination without historical precedent. Bruin requires gun regulations to be consistent with America's historical tradition. There's no historical evidence of age restrictions on ammunition purchases. If 18-year-olds can own firearms, which Colorado permits, then prohibiting ammunition purchases effectively nullifies that right. Second, a right without a remedy. Colorado allows 18 to 20-year-olds to own rifles and shotguns. But if they cannot buy ammunition, the right becomes meaningless. It's like saying you can own a car, but it's illegal to buy gasoline. Third, storage requirements aren't narrowly tailored. Requiring all ammunition locked up doesn't serve the stated purpose of preventing youth access. Adult purchasers still have immediate access once they show ID. Gun rights organizations are preparing litigation. Rocky Mountain gun owners will file a federal lawsuit challenging both provisions within days of July 1st. Second Amendment Foundation is monitoring for test cases. Based on recent federal court decisions applying Bruin, this law is highly vulnerable. Number 5, how retailers are responding and why small gun shops might close. The compliance burden is crushing small businesses. Large retailers like Walmart and Cabela's have corporate resources to redesign stores, installing cage systems, hiring staff, updating point-of-sale systems, but compliance costs run hundreds of thousands per store. Small gun shops face an impossible choice. One Colorado Springs shop owner calculated $35,000 for new storage systems, $12,000 for locked cases, $8,000 for security cameras, $2,500 monthly for extra staff. His total ammunition profit last year was $47,000. He'd spend nearly all profit on compliance, then operate at higher cost with lower customer satisfaction. Many small shops are stopping ammunition sales entirely, focusing on firearms and accessories. This creates ammunition deserts, areas where residents must drive 50-plus miles to find ammo. Rural Colorado already has limited options. Some retailers are considering civil disobedience, continuing sales to 18, 20-year-olds who legally own firearms. This creates a constitutional test case, but risks criminal charges and license revocation. Number 6, what you need to do before July 1st to stockpile legally. If you're affected, you have 60 days. For 18, 20-year-olds, buy all ammunition you'll need for the next 3 years before July 1st. Common calibers, .28 LR, 5,000 plus rounds. 2.23 5.56 2,000 plus rounds. 12 gauge, 1,000 plus rounds. Once July 1st hits, you cannot legally buy in Colorado until age 21. For all gun owners, expect prices to increase and selection to decrease after July 1st. Storage requirements and liability will force retailers to carry less inventory. Stock up now on specialty ammunition. Buy from out of state. Federal law allows ammunition purchases from out-of-state sources shipped to your home if state law permits. After July 1st, it's unclear if Colorado's law applies to out-of-state online sales. The law's text suggests it only regulates Colorado retailers, creating a potential loophole. Store properly. If stockpiling thousands of rounds, store in cool, dry place in original packaging. Ammunition stored properly lasts decades. Number 7, here's your action plan to fight this law and protect your rights. Action step 1, contact your state legislators. Even though the law already passed, legislators need to hear that constituents oppose it. Future legislative sessions could repeal or amend it. Email, call, and visit your representatives. Action step 2, support legal challenges. Rocky Mountain gun owners and other groups will file lawsuits. Donate to legal defense funds. Join these organizations as members. Lawsuits are expensive and they need funding. Action step 3, spread awareness. Most Colorado gun owners don't know about this law yet. Share this information with everyone you know who owns firearms or buys ammunition. The July 1st deadline is approaching fast. Action step 4, document violations. If you're 18-20 and you're denied an ammunition sale after July 1st, document it. Get the retailer's name, date, time, what ammunition you tried to buy, and why you were denied. This documentation helps build legal challenges. Action step 5, consider being a test case plaintiff. Gun rights organizations need plaintiffs for lawsuits, 18-20-year-olds who legally own firearms but are denied ammunition sales. If you're willing to be part of a federal lawsuit, contact Rocky Mountain Gun Owners or Second Amendment Foundation. Action step 6, vote. This law passed because anti-gun legislators control Colorado's government. Elections in November 2026 determine whether these legislators keep power or lose it. Register to vote, vote in primaries, and vote in general elections. Action Step 7. Prepare for other states copying Colorado. This law is a test case for the gun control movement. If Colorado's law survives legal challenges, expect California, New York, Illinois, Washington, Oregon, and other states to copy it. Stay informed about legislation in your state. Here's the bottom line. Colorado HB 26-1349 takes effect July 1st, 2026, raising ammunition purchase age to 21 and requiring all ammunition behind counters or in locked cases. This affects 18,000 legal gun owners aged 18-20 who can own firearms but won't be able to buy ammunition. It forces retailers to spend tens of thousands on compliance and may drive small shops out of business. The law is unconstitutional under Bruin. No historical tradition supports age restrictions on ammunition. Creating a right to own firearms while prohibiting ammunition purchases nullifies that right. You have 60 days. If you're 18-20, stockpile ammunition now. If you're a retailer, decide whether to comply, stop selling ammunition, or become a test case. If you're any gun owner, support litigation and vote. This law won't survive federal court review, but it can cause damage before judges strike it down. Subscribe right now because I'm tracking every state considering ammunition restrictions and revealing the legal strategy to defeat them. Share this with every Colorado gun owner. They need to know what's coming on July 1st. Remember, this is educational information. Always consult with an attorney for specific legal situations. 60 days until this law takes effect. Use them wisely. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one where we break down the first federal lawsuit challenging Colorado's ammunition age restriction.